From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. The recon, a fourth stimulus recon, will become a law in less than 2 weeks. I have the latest details in this incredible breaking news on this afternoon's broadcast, direct from Santa Monica, California. In this incredible recon, there is lots of checks, even the checks the senators are adding in there. Those multiple checks in this recon will pay you a lot of money, upwards at least $15,000. And I'm going to show you how to get these incredible checks, what they are, and how you're going to get them when this becomes law. But you don't have to wait for fourth stimulus to become law, because you're going to get Christmas stimulus. It's third stimulus. It's available right today. And that third stimulus has been paying out viewers since the last 2 weeks when we brought it back on this channel. Its third stimulus enacted as law earlier this year, but viewers have gotten on average $5,000 this week, the week before. This is third stimulus. This is your Christmas stimulus. I'm going to show you how to get it in this recording. We're going to turn to that student loan debt forgiveness, the offer on the table, the latest details with your COLA lift next January, 5.9%, and also fifth stimulus right behind that. Well, the latest breaking details about what you should anticipate this next week when the Federal Reserve meets to discuss the new interest rate spikes and tightening in the new year. It's a critical day, but the great news is we go into a big afternoon is that we have a recon that's becoming law, folks. It's becoming law in just a few days. It's fourth stimulus recon. And we have third stimulus, Christmas stimulus, viewers getting thousands of dollars on the day, on the hour. We got a great recording, plus of the latest details about what's going on with the variant, and the latest details about those secret meetings with Mitch and Chuck, discussing where my bacon is. It's about time they're having those meetings. The incredible detail starts right now, right this afternoon, as Afternoons LA gets underway, direct from Santa Monica, California, this holiday season. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Here we go. That incredible recon is going to become a law. That is the fourth stimulus recon, and it's going to become law in just a few days. I'm going to have the latest breaking details as the vote is happening just around Christmas. This is huge. It's going to pay you a lot of money, upwards of at least $15,000, but many viewers are going to get $40,000 to $50,000 to $60,000 in this fourth stimulus recon. You're going to clean up. I'm going to show you how to get these incredible sums of money. There's no time to wait for that, because Christmas stimulus is ready right now. Yes, Christmas stimulus. This is third stimulus, and it's been available since earlier this year, but we brought it back into this channel's recordings just 2 weeks ago, and viewers have been cleaning up, getting on average $5,000. Viewers getting somewhere between $4,000 to about $10,000. Now, we have had some success stories of $138,000, but this is money for you. You're going to get this money. I'm going to show you in this recording. We'll go to that student loan debt forgiveness, the latest detail on that, the offer across the board. This stimulus raising your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, and that COLA raise as well. Plus the latest details of what's happening with the Federal Reserve meeting on December 14th. Those details are more coming up in this recording, but first I want you to subscribe. Go right under this video right now and hit that subscribe button. Be part of the #3 most watched financial news channel in America. It's LALATE. You're watching it right now. Sign up for that incredible membership so you get that newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system, which all, by the way, you should also sign up for. It's totally free. It is also in the links of this video. And with that, we start a big, bold, beautiful afternoon's recording with incredible great news of a recon that's becoming law. It's called fourth stimulus recon. It's the fourth one, and it will become a law this month. It'll pay you a lot, upwards of at least $15,000. And if you've been with this channel for at least a year, you have learned how to do this. This would be your biggest payday you've ever had in the history of this channel. Let's go over all these incredible clusters of checks. 3 clusters and 3 add-ons. Cluster number 1 got in there and is going to become law. Hazard pay for my essential workers. 1 more year of the earned income tax credit. $4,000 of elder care got in there. $4,000 of care for young children got that in there. The CTC, $3,600 got in there. The home repairs, if you're living in a low-income community, got it in there. The Pell Grant for my college students got in there $550 checks. And the $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle got it in there. Wow, that's a lot of checks. That's just the first cluster. That's at least $5,000. Now let's go to the first add-on, which comes from the illustrious Maxine Waters out of California. She wanted to put it in there. She got it in there. This is free money for the purchase of your first home. She wanted to give you $25,000. She got a little bit less, but it got in there. How do you get these incredible sums of money covered in these first few minutes of this video? Stay with me to the very end. It's coming up later. I'm going to go over each of these checks one at a time. Yes, free money for the purchase of your first home. Let's go to second cluster checks. Here we go. A lot more incredible, great news. Here we have household tax credit, paid family and medical leave, universal pre-kindergarten, and money to weatherize your home. You have to be in that holiday spirit. You have to be in that holiday spirit, and winterizing is very important. No, this is weatherizing. If you haven't noticed, the beautiful new flora for our holiday decor is here. It's not a finished set. I'm a little bit behind. I apologize. I need some lights. Need a little bit more. But did you notice the leaf is half purple? That is a real leaf, folks. Yeah, they saw me coming to the store. They say, here's the purple plant. Who knew there was a poinsettia with half a purple leaf? I mean, it's like sort of like the Joker with his half a leaf. It's just incredible. Let's go into the second add-on. It comes from the illustrious Bob Casey. He got it in there. $250 billion of home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. Wow, this is great. How do you get this? It's coming up in just a second. He got a little bit less than $250. He wanted $250. Let's go to that third cluster checks, and I hope your holiday decoration is going as well. Join me on Holidays LA tonight and on Stream Stimulus. Let's go to that third cluster. This is the one we call deliciousness. We got in there money for seniors and money for free internet. Wow. What else is in this third cluster? We have in there the immigration reform. We have in there the cheaper prescription medication, the tax breaks, the school meals for all checks. We have in there the money for the free internet, the independent contractors, and the money for the seniors. This is spread across both the House and the Senate. This is what we call the Medicare expansion. The House members on that Medicare expansion got in there two provisions, which is the hearing and the Medicaid gap fix. But the senators vow to add three more provisions, and they are dental, vision, and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, which is par for the course when we're looking at MSC. What is MSC? It's an acronym created by this channel, which refers to an instrument the federal government has talked about since the month of May, at least. It's multiple IRS stimulus checks. Now, the reason why we use the word IRS is because there's a lot of stimulus checks in this recon for you, lots of them, multiple. But we refer to this one as MSC and IRS because it comes from the IRS. What have they talked about? Well, starting the month of May, they were talking about, actually even before the month of May, the legislators were talking about it, and we were advocating. I was telling viewers to pick up the phone and advocate, and this channel is the biggest place of advocacy in the United States for provisions in the fourth stimulus recon. Upwards of 8 million, 5 million phone calls were made by viewers of this channel to those legislators. 6 of them, 6 senators. But when the legislation got in their court, the ball in their court 2 weeks ago, I said to pick up the phone and re-advocate across the board. And you have done really well. And who are those 6 senators who have now told viewers once again, that it's going in there? Let me show you their names. Now, back in the month of May, thousands of viewers were told by those same 6 senators it's going in there. And those viewers then have now picked up the phone again and re-advocated the last 2 weeks and been told again it's going in there. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. When we're talking about this provision, what does it entail? Well, MSC would be the same income qualification as the previous stimulus checks that those legislators represent to us. A single individual, $75,000 or less, got that third stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, got it, double it. Family of 4, they got to quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or railroad benefits, they got it as well. It was also paid out to adult dependents. It's not income, it's not taxable, and is available across all United States. When we talk about the latest MSC, they're talking about at least 1 or more checks across the board. And so what happened was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, Janet picked up the phone and spoke to Chuck Schumer's office and was told it's going in there via Bernie Sanders. Then The wonderful Lynn Glenn picked up the phone and advocated to Chris Coons' office, was told is going in there. Bonnie picked up the phone and contacted Liz Warren's office and was told it's going in there. And then we had Tyrell, who picked up the phone and called Bob Casey's office, told us going in there. And Donnie picked up the phone with his wife Sharon and advocated to the incredible Ron Wyden and was told it's going in there. So it's important for you to advocate across the board. Those legislators want to hear from you. And the chief of staff to the #1 guy in the recon says the following about the importance of advocating until we are over the finish line. That message is loud and clear. And what is that message? They now have in total between congressional and senators' offices received more contacts of advocacy for the LA Purple Power than the number of signatures in the American petition. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring touching stories. They have met an understanding of what Americans are going through during this pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories, and they are the voice of the people across the nation and you, LA, as you have become too loud to be ignored. Please continue your encouragement for the continued advocacy as a professional voice of people you have become until this becomes a law. Very, very kind. That's why it's important to advocate. Who are those legislators you advocate to? Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Meantime, give yourself some time to advocate for your wallet. It involves getting that holiday stimulus, aka third stimulus. Viewers have done so well in the last 2 weeks, getting on average $5,000. This can be you if you haven't gotten anything. And if you have gotten something, if you're one of those viewers, I'm going to show you how to get more of it. It's coming up in the second half of this video. It's this graphic here. And viewers earlier this year got $45,000 from third stimulus. But we're going to go back to that incredible recon that's becoming a law in just a few days. This is huge. We are at the finish line, folks. Those Senate changes will be robust. The provisions in there will pay you a lot, at least $15,000. And the student loan debt forgiveness is an executive order offer on the side. I'm going to go over the latest details on that. Plus, we'll be turning to the latest details on fifth stimulus and what you need to know about that Federal Reserve meeting in just a few days. Those details and more as we go to the second half of this video. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Afternoons LA continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now as Afternoons LA continues direct from Santa Monica, California. This big, bold, beautiful day. We're going to go over that incredible recon. And that's going to pay you a lot in this incredible fourth stimulus recon. The Senate changes will be robust. They're going on in there. But those checks would bring you at least $15,000. I'm going to go over the incredible checks that are in this fourth stimulus recon. Get your pen and paper ready. But no time to wait for fourth stimulus. You got bills to get paid. You want that Christmas stimulus. You want stimulus before Christmas. It is third stimulus. Christmas stimulus viewers are continuing to get. And I'm going to congratulate the newest viewers that got some more money overnight and show you how to get money as well. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that offer on the table. It's $10,000. And then that COLA raise, 5.9%. But get ready for more of this stimulus right behind that. We have the latest details on that, plus the breaking news about that inflation number that came in, the new Federal Reserve announcement coming this week, those secret meetings from Mitch and Chuck, and the latest detail on the variant, plus those details you need to know across the board about what's happening next week. And with that, I want you part of this incredible family. So subscribe. Go under this video right now and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, become the part of the incredible #3 most watched financial news channel in America, LALATE. Also sign up for that membership newsletter. Membership is under the video. That'll get you that newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system, which you see on the screen right there, and that is free to sign up for as well. And as we go into a big second half, here we go with all the breaking details out the door. And it starts with those secret meetings between Chuck and Mitch, and you're voting on that recon in just a few days. Here's what you need to know starting the big afternoon. We are going to have the fourth stimulus recon becoming law in the month of December. It is incredible. Leader Schumer says that it will become law before Christmas Eve. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do believe it's going to happen in the month of December. Let's go over the equation. We have 2 more weeks before Christmas. We have this full week coming up next week. And then the week after that is the week of Christmas. It's a half a week. So last week, Leader Schumer told us his time frame. He wants to get final edits, drafts of the recon out of those Senate subcommittees last week and this coming week, and he wants them to be done so that the Senate version of the recon will be done in totality by the end of this week. It'll be presented to the Senate parliamentarian in final form. She's been looking at since the month of May. She will rule on it this week. And then we'll learn the fate of several provisions coming in or coming out. Stay with me to the final 5 minutes of the video, the most important part of this video, when I go over my analysis. You're not going to see this analysis anywhere in the United States except here. Now, that is by the end of this week. Then he wants to have the voting next week. Do I think he can get the voting done in 1 week? No. He needs a 1-day Senate floor vote. He needs a 2-day vote-a-rama vote. He needs to send it back to the House. He's changing at least the punctuation of the legislation. So if you're changing a period, a comma, you're sending it back to the House. And that means that he needs about 4 or 5 days. He starts on the Monday of Christmas week. He ain't going to get it done by Christmas. That weekend, yeah, he can get it done the weekend after Christmas. Now, the only way he can get it done before Christmas Eve is if he starts the voting this coming weekend, the weekend before Christmas. If he starts the voting before Christmas Eve, then he can get it done by Christmas Eve. I don't think they are, because they traditionally haven't worked the weekend before Christmas. They have worked the weekend after Christmas, the 27th, the 28th, the 29th. So I think that is where you can see it become law. Number 2, why do I think it's going to become law? For really 3 reasons. 1, there have been both conservative and liberal analysts that look at the situation and say it's absolutely becoming law in December. There's no way it's going to be done in January. It's going to be done in December. Number 2, a lot of top legislators like Tim Kaine are talking about the importance of doing it in December because of the way it's written. A lot of the provisions of this recon are what you call continuation provisions, continuing something from a prior law. Well, it's only can be continued if the law is still alive, it's still active. That is third stimulus. It's still live for several key provisions which expire January 15th. If you wait to past mid or late December, you can't extend them. So that's why they want to get them done in December. That's what Tim Kaine is talking about. Number 3, I just think it's time and place. I think it's time and place to get it done. And I think all the planets are aligning. And I think they're especially aligning because of a secret deal that went on between Chuck and Mitch starting before Halloween. Before Halloween, Minority Leader McConnell reached out to Majority Leader Schumer and said, I don't want to do any more procedural battles with you. You can do your substantive, but I don't want to have any procedural battles with you. So let's get the debt ceiling limit done together. And they did. Let's get the other debt ceiling moved to February. They did. Let's do the defense spending bill and get it done. They did. And that leaves you and your group and your Democrats to do the recon. You can go do it yourself. I'm not going to interfere. Go do it. And that is really the new era. That is absolutely incredible. It's a new detail that surfaced last week that shows you why we started this month with nearly 5 bodies of legislation to be done. And suddenly the Republicans were being nonpartisan when it comes to procedural. procedural moves. And it's incredible. So I do believe that the recon will become law in the month of December. So let's go over those incredible provisions starting right now. The first provision in there is the paid leave. It's a lot of money, $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. If you make $35,000 or more per year, it is $800 a week. If you make $15,000 or more per year, it is $400 a week. The great news is that eligibility is for all type of workers, W-2, 1099s, if you make a lot, if you make a little. And if you're not employed and your son or daughter is and you live with them, they take off from work once a week to take you to the doctor, they're going to get the check. They got in there's a SALT cap. It's huge. It's currently capped at $10,000 of what you can deduct in state and local taxes from the federal tax return. They raised it up to $72,500 under this forced stimulus recon. Then they got in there $40 billion of free job training. Wow, that's very important for millions of Americans who want to quit their job and take a higher paying job. And then they got in there the incredible workaround plan that provide subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in 12 states where the governors are Republican and had vowed never to pay for Obamacare. That's huge. You're finally going to get that cheaper medical insurance. Congratulations. And then we get to the best provisions entire recon, which is housing. You know it's the best one. It's $150 billion, and it's the biggest payday of this entire recon for you. 3 provisions are new. Home repairs, weatherize your home, and first-time home purchase. Stay with me. I'm going to go over them in a second. The other 3 provisions are a repeat from third stimulus. And they are rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. And the great news is that you don't have to wait for them to become law. You can get them right today. As viewers have got to them since day one and have got to them in magnitude of the last 2 weeks, it's called third stimulus. And with that, get your pen and paper out. Pull out your newsletter if you're a member. We're going to go over how to get this incredible third stimulus, a.k.a. Christmas stimulus, which you can get right now because you can get it before Christmas. And congratulations to all the incredible viewers who've gotten it. Now let's go over what this is. This is rent. This is utilities. This is mortgages. This is more. But let's take a step back so you understand the history of how we got here. In December 2020, people were focusing on a second stimulus check. It was not yet a law. And I said, I know you have bills, so let me show you how to get your bills paid in December 2020. And I got viewers $250,000 of their bills paid. At that time, it seemed like a lot. By now, by today's equations, it's small because I get millions of dollars from viewers every month. And it helped people. It got them through the holiday season. They got their bills paid, like Tyrone and his family for it at Boston. Got all their bills paid for rent and utilities to the new year. But I also said it was important to get the money because it would show you the skill set. You would develop the skill set, the tools, the sophistication of how to do this. When a new body of legislation was coming in the new year in 2021, it was going to be called third stimulus. I had an initial preview of the legislation on this channel before it was even discussed. And I said, this is what's coming. It has a $1,400 stimulus check, and it has a lot of money in there. I think it's about $15,000 I can get you. I want you to know what it's about, and I'm going to call it third stimulus. I coined the expression on this channel. When it became law, I said, again, I think I can get you $15,000. Do not focus on the $14 stimulus check. Focus on this money. And you listened. You didn't focus on the stimulus check because it was going to come. There was nothing to really focus about. You focused on getting this money, applying your skills from the previous year, and you cleaned up. You got on average $45,000 from this money in the spring. During the summer, I said you can get another round. Some of you did get another round. But what happened 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, you and I looked at the landscape of where we are, and we realized you need money. You need money. You need holiday. You need your bills paid before the holidays so that you have extra cash sitting around for the holidays. You don't have to pay your rent and utilities, so you have extra money. You can put that rent and utility bill now to some gifts or some holiday meals. I said, I'm going to show you how to do it. And I am so excited for you. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations to all the incredible viewers who have listened to me from day one and continue to listen day in, day out and do exactly what I say. The people who have gotten holiday stimulus have averaged $4,000 to $6,000, 4 to 6 months of rent, and about 3 items, so rent and 2 other utilities. And have been both viewers who have gotten money from third stimulus before on this channel and totally brand new viewers who found this channel and said, I'm going to go get this money, and you've gotten it. So let's go over some of those credible stories so you realize how pervasive it is and how you can get it as well. But what I want you to understand is that the $5,000 number is widespread. I mean, we have had times on this channel where you have big spreads of numbers, and I admit we have $138,000. One viewer got last week, another viewer got 48,000, but we haven't had low numbers. We've had a 2,000 and a 2,500, but we've generally had $4,000 to $6,000. So this is your Christmas stimulus. How do you get it? Let's go over the details. Amy says, "Thank you for your unprecedented dedication, helping your viewers learn about how to attain financial help during these uncertain times of hardship since the beginning of COVID's appearance in our nation. Your extensive coverage of detailed information has been a blessing to so many people. Your demeanor is always pleasant, positive, witty, and a pillar of hope for the American people." I love her message, but it's really what she says thereafter. She says, "I'm in a small, rural area of Kentucky, summer shade, and people may think there's no money, so I wanted to tell them there is money." Amen, Amy. So her and her husband got 3 rounds of utilities with this channel. The newest round just a few days ago. Got 2 rounds of rent with this channel over the last few months. Her newest round just came a few days ago, and got food stamps. So it shows you, in even rural areas, there is money everywhere. There's always a day, there's not a day that has passed on this channel since day one where someone says, there's nothing in Arkansas, there's nothing in Alabama, there's nothing in Mississippi, there's nothing in, Anchorage. There's always some town or state. There's money everywhere. And if you listen, I'll show you how to get it. Let's go to some incredible stories. Then comes Judy, who says, "You're definitely Jesus in disguise." Thank you, Judy. Thank you for your reporting. I got December to 2021 rent all the way to February. That is incredible. And she says, "I'm so happy to be able to get the Christmas gifts I've always wanted for my loved ones." There you go. I've been listening to your show since March 2020. I've told my friends and family about you, and they're getting food and mortgage assistance also. I'm going to get rent next year as well. That's her motivation. She's ready to go. I love it. She's ramped up and ready to go. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you as well. See what she did? She got her bills paid. Now she has extra money for that Christmas. This is your true Christmas stimulus. Sandra says, "Thank you. I got 3 items." She looks like it's about 2,000, 3,000. Tonya got money. Then we have the incredible Amy, another Amy who got money. We have Tyrone who got 4 to 6 months of rent. Thorn Diaz. Then we have Deborah who got 6 months of rent assistance. Incredible. That's about $4,000. We have Chef John Meyer who got an extra $2,500 for SNAP. An extra. He already got SNAP before on this channel. And he says he's still working on utilities. So, Chef, go get those utilities. I want you to go get it. We have Lynn Glenn. You know her. She got rent earlier this year. She got another round of rent. And she says, "I'm never going to stop watching you." I love you, Lynn Glenn. Happy holidays. And then we have Lorica, who her house is powered by wood. She got wood all the way to 2022. We have Robin, who got 3 rounds from one utility, 3 rounds from another utilities, all in this last week. How do you do it? Stay with me. I'll show you in just a second. We have one viewer, D. Miller, who got about $3,000. Then we have Madonna, who got 1, 2, 3 rounds of rent just in the last week. We have Kathy Cheney, who got about $5,000, $6,000. She says, "Thank you, LALATE. You're a godsend." I appreciate that. And she got 3 items. Then we have Morel, who got 3 rounds just this last week or two. May Lou, who got about $6,000. It's incredible. She says, "I appreciate you so much. You're the best." Love you back, May Lou. And there comes Scarpy, who got SNAP. We have Melissa Justice, who got $10,000. And then we have Jay Gran, who says, "I would have never been able to do this without you and your support. And I speak for all of us. We love you to death, Purple Power." I love you back, Jay Gran. Incredible. He got about $5,000, $6,000. Then we end with Chris's incredible story. I love Chris's story because why? He had gotten $10,000 from this earlier this year and heard me say, "There's another round. You can get it today." And he said, "I never would have known I can get this money right before Christmas." And I said, "Yeah, go get it." And he got it, $5,000. So get that pen paper ready. If you're not a member, if you are a member, get your newsletter out. And we're going to go over this incredible sums of money you can get right now. And it's rent, utilities, food, internet, mortgages, and more. And we'll start with the rent. Here is the number for the rent. This was about 3 months ago. And imagine how much the rent has gone up. That rent was at the time at $20,000, $30,000. Now it is $40,000. So go get that rent. And where are you going to get it from? Here you go. 6 places you reach out to. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. And the key words you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. You're going to do 3 months. You must reach out to all 6 places. You must get applications on file everywhere. And you must get a multiple round. So if you got a round early this year, get another round today. If you got a round yesterday, get another round today from a different organization. Yes, you can do that. Utility assistance, I want you to get that as well. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000 for this. So you're going to reach out to all utility companies and you're going to say utility assistance because of COVID. SNAP, that's money for food. You get it from Department of Agriculture. Reach out to them and get that money. That money from SNAP is incredible. And boy, Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000. That's going to bring him to $250,000 over the next 10 years. Eligibility is the same as about a third stimulus check. This is money for your food and you get it from Department of Agriculture. Then you want to get combo items. It started with Nisi and Art Sullivan on this channel. They got 3 items. Here's Nisi. I said get 3 items like they did. Mark was a 2 at this graphic, 32,000. I said Mark was your 3rd. He got that 3rd. Brought him to 50,000. Marcus got him more items since then. Brought him to over 100,000. Here's Lorraine. She was at 105. And now she's at 120. In the last week, we've had certain breakout stories. Now, I want to make very clear, this is not a typical situation. One viewer this last week got the single biggest payout I've ever seen for a family from anything from one recon. They got 138,000. Congratulations. I mean, it is a rarity, but that is just insane. And another viewer got $48,000 or $38,000 just on rent this last week. So congratulations to him. But let me turn to the incredible story of Johnny, because Johnny embodies how you do this correctly. Pay attention. Pay attention. This is an informational video. Pay attention to how Johnny does it in this 3-part story. Part 1. Johnny started the week a few weeks ago with $0. He was listening to this video about how to get this money on this channel. And by the middle of the week, Wednesday, from watching this videos on this channel, he got 3 programs approved. Like 2 other people who he did not even know. They each got $45,000. Great. But Johnny was different than them. He heard me say, keep on getting other sums of money. Get as many programs approved as you can. And by the end of the week, Johnny got 7 programs approved. Why do I like part 1 of Johnny's story? Because he had to have made at least 15 phone calls to get those 7 programs approved. You're going to get some rejections, some no's, maybe upwards of 50% no's. That does not mean you stop. It means you're going to win. So Johnny had to have 6 or 7 no's to get 7 yeses. And how much did he get? $80,000 in 5 days. For any viewer who says I reached out to one place and they said no, yeah, Johnny got no's. He also got some yeses, so keep on calling. Let's turn to the second part of his story. The following Monday, he reached out to his 2 family members and said, hey, I got big money from LALATE last week. They said, I heard about him. What was this from? 3rd stimulus, I got 80,000. They said, 80,000, 3rd stimulus? I haven't heard about this, Johnny. Where did you get this from? How come broadcast media doesn't cover it? He says they don't cover it. He does. Let me show you what it is, Johnny said. And by the end of those week, those 2 family members went from non-believers to believers, each getting 50,000. The landscape of the American reporting right now is that LALATE, the channel you're watching right now, is the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America. But number 1 on this subject matter, geopolitical news. Now, the other 2 channels, 1 and 2 in the United States, broadcast TV, they don't cover this that much, almost nothing at all. Similarly, I don't cover some of their subject matters, like SPACs, or the credit crunch, or futures or options. I don't cover it. Doesn't mean those futures and options don't exist. It means I just don't cover it. So when they don't cover something I cover, it doesn't mean the things I cover don't exist. It means they don't just cover it. Let's go to the third part of Johnny's incredible story. It came in last 2 Sundays ago. I was in a local restaurant watching NFL football Sunday and got a private message from Johnny on Instagram. Said, hey, I have an update for you. I said, hey, Johnny, what's going on? Well, people kept on coming over the house, says Johnny, asking what I'm doing. And I showed them, I showed them your channel. And they said, can you help us get that money? And I did, says Johnny. I said, Johnny, how many people have you helped in the last few weeks that I've been chatting with you? He said, LALATE, in the last few weeks, I've helped 32 people get money from third stimulus. I said, my goodness, congratulations. I said, how much money have you got to them from third stimulus? He said, in total, about $850,000. This is how we do it, channel. This is how we do it, my friends. We cash checks big time. So go right on this video right now and sign up for that membership under this video. I want you to get that incredible newsletter that comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that features how to get this money. It features the 6 nonprofits you're going to reach out to, the keywords you say, the 3 musts, and then it's going to feature stuff not covered in this video, like the 5 nonprofits. What those 5 nonprofits help with you financially. The 1 nonprofit that does home repairs. Also the statement from Treasury you want to read before making the phone call to get that incredible money. Become a member today to get this incredible information across the board. And stay to the final 5 minutes of this video because I'm going to show you how to get even more money than I just covered right now. It's coming up in the last few minutes of this video. It's additional Christmas stimulus in the final 5 minutes of this video. But let's turn back to forced stimulus. We left off with housing provisions. Well, 3 provisions are brand new. They are home repairs if you live in a low-income community. Then weatherize your home. Yes, that's incredible. This is money to repair your home if you for weatherizing all income levels and find money to purchase your first home. Wow. That would be given to the seller in your name by the federal government during the time of escrow. What else is in this incredible recon? Well, they got in there the incredible $150 billion of home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. Got it in there. They got in the $550 check for the Pell Grant recipients, college students. And then they got $12,500 in there for the new electric car, U.S. auto manufactured, U.S. union labor, which brings us to the best provision of this recon, which is cheaper medication. It's Medicare Part B, Medicare Part D. The most expensive medications like cancer, diabetes, and arthritis will come down dramatically day one, 20 of them. It'll grow to 30 of them by the year 2028, and they cannot increase year after year more than the rate of inflation. If they do, there's a penalty provision. Penalty provision. You can't do a penalty provision in a recon, says Pat Toomey, the GOP senator. Now let's turn over to this penalty provision and everything with the Senate parliamentarian. This week coming is the final week. This is where you're going to finally see, after many, many months, the Senate parliamentarian giving her final ruling on the forced stimulus recon. Who is she? She's a nonpartisan individual. She's been looking at the provisions of the recon since May, giving guidance as this does not belong there, this does belong there, this doesn't belong there. But she still has to have the final version of the Senate bill, not the House bill, the Senate bill, because this is Senate rules. And she will have that by the end of this week, and she's going to give her ruling. At issue first is the penalty provision. I think it's coming out. Doesn't really impact you that much. Then immigration reform. She previously said it cannot stay in there by recon. I think it's coming out. And then we go to paid leave. Boy, paid leave, no one knows how she's going to rule on that. Now, this is a critical one because if paid leave goes out, you can breathe a sense of relief in a way, even though it's a lot of money. You don't want to lose the money. But if it stays in there, what is Chuck going to do? Because we have no clarity about the situation. Joe Manchin has made very emphatically clear for nearly 2 months he will never vote in favor of a recon that has paid leave in there. So if the parliamentarian rules it can stay in there, what is Chuck going to do? We don't know. Remember, any provision she says has to come out, the money doesn't come out. So where does the money go? They have to really scramble very quickly. If she says something like paid leave comes out, it's a lot of money. It's hundreds of billions of dollars of money. The provision comes out, so where do they put that money very quickly? Of course, they could put it to an MSC. When you look at this graphic, 15,000, you see right away, it's a lot more than 15,000. It's a lot more than $15,000 of multiple checks in there for that recon for you. It has all those checks, those multiple checks you got from third stimulus in there that paid you $45,000. It has the new add-ons from Casey and Maxine Waters and those other items. Those Senate changes are going to go on top of that. Then it has the core and body of it, which is about $15,000. Yeah, it's about $50,000 to $60,000 of many different multiple types of checks across the board. So as soon as it becomes a law, you're going to do really, really well. Now, let's go over the final provisions in there, which are important. Several of them are repeats from third stimulus, and some are brand new. And that is what's important across the board when looking at them. They got in there universal pre-kindergarten. That's brand new. That's free money for 3 to 4 year olds for 1 year. They got in there the hearing aid. That's a check. And they got in there the covered benefits for home health care. That is a covered benefit. But the other 3 provisions are repeat from third stimulus. They're about to expire. Remember, that's why they got to get this done. They got the child care back end, the child tax credit front end, about $3,600, and the earned income tax credit. That is back end 1 more year. And then we've already gone over the Pell Grant, the nutrition, and the home repairs. But what are those other Senate changes? I'm going to go over those in a second. But let's take a detour for just a blink of an eye over to student loan debt. The president has an offer on the table, $10,000 to be forgiven by student loan debt. The Democrats should take it. The president previously forgave student loan debts for individuals who became disabled after graduation, went to work in the nonprofit sector and the public sector after graduation. Meantime, fifth stimulus and COLA raise. I've been trying to separate them out slowly for you in recent days. I think it's helping to show you they're very two different items, even though one has to do with something in the other provision. So 5.9%, your benefits are going up January 1. Everyone. First of all, it's automatic. Number two, it's about January 1. Unless you're a veteran, you may see it going up ahead of time. Number three, you don't have to do anything to get it. And if you didn't get that letter, don't worry. The letter's not going to come anymore. That's the end of that COLA raise. Now, fifth stimulus comes right behind it. Fifth stimulus says, hey, COLA ain't going to cut it long term, so we got to replace it starting December 2022 with inflation, which is going to be 2 to 3% at least. This is huge. So that means you're going to get one lift up to get caught up under fifth stimulus. Then a new benchmark lifting you up again in December 2022. And then this lift as well. They're going to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. And love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest and no longer fear a loss of benefits. Meantime, let me turn to the Federal Reserve, because this is very, very important. It impacts your wallet and impacts for you to know what's going on next week. On December 15th, the Federal Reserve will meet for the final time this year, but this is the most important meeting by the Federal Reserve. Why is this important? What Jay Powell says, because this is going to signal what is going on with the financial markets going into next year. The Federal Reserve, Jay Powell, will meet on Wednesday on this coming week, December 15th, to determine the federal policies for next year. Why has things changed so quickly? Let's step back. 2 months ago, we thought that the support of the economy coming from the Federal Reserve, called Fed stimulus, was going to go slowly away. This is not money going in your wallet. This is them buying mortgage-backed securities. We thought this was going to go away slowly. It's called tapering. Now we realize it's not going to taper slowly. It's going to taper quickly. Second, we have thought there was going to be maybe one interest rate spike next year at the end of next 2022. Now, no longer the case. There's probably going to be two interest rate spikes, and the first one may be in Q1. So what's going on? What's going on is this economy is much stronger than anyone anticipated, including the Federal Reserve, than initially thought. And it's a series of 1, 2, 3 major factors, actually 4 major factors in just the last 7 days. Let's step back to last Friday, not yesterday, but the Friday before that. That was when the jobs number comes out. It's once a month number. It shows how many jobs were created, but it's the other numbers in the report that blew everyone's socks off. It showed the lowest unemployment in nearly half a century. It showed there's literally full labor participation, that people on the sidelines in the fall months are coming back in the workforce. It showed the price of labor is coming down. So it's really robust, strong economic data. Then, analysts that Friday and myself all said that unless Omicron blows up and gets very serious in 7 days, then the Federal Reserve is going to tighten and spike rates faster and quicker. And guess what happened in the last 7 days? Omicron didn't. So Omicron remains, is spread in more states, but is not any more serious than Delta. So what happened since then? Thursday and Friday, 2 numbers came in. And boy, folks, if those numbers ever signal to you that the Fed is going to come in like gangbusters and spike, starting with an announcement on Thursday, these are the 2 numbers that will do it. On Thursday, the new jobless numbers were released. And if you've been with this channel since day one, boy, it feels like night and day. On day one of this channel, I told you every Thursday morning the new number comes out of how many people newly that week went on unemployment benefits. And how many was it? It was 1 million every Thursday morning on this channel for 20 plus weeks. It was a record of the United States. The worst since the Great Depression. Then we improved quickly. We went from 800 to 300. We were hovering at 300 just this month, and then we jumped to 200. It was 225 before the pandemic, and then this last Thursday, it came in at 184,000 new jobless claims, the lowest number since September 6, 1969. There's no way to spin that number. That is an absolutely astronomically great number, and it shows you that how big the U.S. population is now in 2021. This is compared to how big the U.S. population was only in 1969, a much smaller country we were then. And we have 184,000 unemployed, new unemployment claims, just like that year of 1969. This is an absolutely astronomical number. And as if that number was not enough to say the Federal Reserve coming strong on December 14th, then came Friday's number. Friday's number from the Department of Labor was inflation. And boy, folks, I don't want to pat myself on the back. Sometimes I really, really want to. And today is one of the days I want to. It was over the summer, you saw me make video after video talking about inflation. We're talking about fifth stimulus because it has that inflation benchmark in there. And I kept on telling you, I don't buy the news. I don't buy it. The Federal Reserve kept on saying, we're going to have a transitory, remember I used to do the hand gesture? The hand gesture is going to go up, it's going to come down. It's a temporary spike for inflation. It's going to go up and come back down. And it's going to spike around November, December, come back down. Said Jay Powell, the Federal Reserve, and it's going to be 2%. I said, I don't buy it. I don't buy it's 2% in December. I don't buy it's going to be temporary. And I kept on telling you, I initially started with about 10%. And then I said, okay, maybe I'm a little high. I'll go to 5%. But I ain't going lower than 5%. And I don't believe it's going to be temporary. And I was reporting to you about Jeremy Siegel out of Wharton School of Business. I was offered to go there, but I turned it down. 5.9%. Jeremy Siegel said it's going to be 20% inflation. I said that may be on the high end. So what did I say all summer long? I said 5% inflation. Where to come in at? 6.9% yesterday. 6.9% inflation right now, folks. It's huge. It's horrible. It's a runaway inflation number. And guess what? It's not temporary. It's not this thing with the hand gesture from the summer. It's not doing that. It's staying high. It's red hot. So expect the Federal Reserve to really come in gangbusters on February 14th and doing that big push across the board. Now, what do you need to know? Expect Wall Street to crash. Major corrections. I don't think people are still grasping Federal Reserve is going to come in. Expect crypto to crash even more. Crypto crashed last weekend. It has been still down. It was down 50% overnight on that last Saturday, and it's going to still stay down. And with that, let's go into my final minutes of commentary. I said that was not enough commentary of what's going on with this recon. Very, very important news. I want to go over all these details starting right now. And we're going to start with the next few days. First, will the recon get done by Christmas? I don't think so. I think it's going to get done right after Christmas, the next few days after Christmas. Are you getting anything from fourth stimulus in your hands before Christmas? Absolutely not. Are you getting anything from fourth stimulus in your hands the month of December? No, there's not enough time. If it becomes a law the 27th, it's not going to teleport into your hand, like a Star Trek episode. It can't show up there in 24 hours. So what is that Christmas stimulus? Christmas stimulus is third stimulus. And Christmas stimulus has been showing up in the hands of viewers last week, this week, will be showing up next week as well, and is going to show up in your hands as well. So let's go over my what I want to say about this Christmas stimulus starting right now. First, if you have been listening to the videos since April, let's go back to day one, since April 2020, you know how I rock and roll on this channel. I'm very specific, and here I'm going to give you a tough love moment. I'm very specific. This channel launched as an informational channel. Why did I press record it? Because people had applied for the EIDL loan and EIDL grant. They knew it existed. They knew what it was. So I didn't have to tell them there's this thing. And they weren't getting approved. So I had to show them this is specifically how you do this to get approved. When PUA was going live, millions of Americans didn't know what it was. They just didn't know. A lot of people had never gone on unemployment their entire lives. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know what FPUC was. I messed up the words the first few days. They didn't know what PEUC was. I was messing up the words. People didn't know what these things were. I had to teach you what things were. Now, in December 2020, we were getting the same monies we're getting today. We were getting rent and utilities and mortgages. The problem was in December 2020, there wasn't a lot of it around. It was the vestige of first stimulus going into second stimulus. There wasn't a lot of money of it to go around to get. And we leaned on the nonprofits, which was so incredibly helpful at the time. But I said, hey, here's a skill set. You're developing the skills because I already had a draft of third stimulus. When it becomes law in the spring, you're going to get a lot of money because there's a lot of this money in third stimulus. There's this much of it in first and second stimulus. There's this much of it in third stimulus. Well, now that we look at fourth stimulus, folks, third stimulus had $45 billion of this for housing. Third stimulus had I don't know if I said that right. Third stimulus had $47 billion of this for housing. Fourth stimulus has $150 billion, has 300% more. Now, I understand maybe some of the money is for other items, but there's a lot of money. So the money is there. And what I want you to know is, one, if you haven't gotten any of this third stimulus, what I call Christmas stimulus, for the rent utilities, please get it. If you're a member, pull out the newsletter and do it exactly as I say. If you choose not to be a member, then follow the videos exactly. Next, here's how you can get extra money, extra Christmas stimulus. Look at what you got money for under third stimulus so far, and literally look at your bills and say, oh, can I get third stimulus for this item? I think I can. I forgot to get this money. Namely, here's the easiest way to do it. I have a lot of viewers here in these success stories where I see two utilities. You got 3 utilities. No one has 2 utility bills. Everyone has 3 or 4 utility bills. So figure out that utility company you reach out to. Reach out to them and get that money. That is your extra $500, $600, $700. Let's go finally to focus and tough love. First, focus. I'm very, very excited for viewers who really laser focus with me. Like Judy says, I did what you said. I got my bills paid. I now have extra money for those holidays gifts. That's how to laser focus. I want to compare that against, in no disrespect, to Donut Guy. Donut Guy was never going to be focused. And we said, we're going to just leave him by his side. I'm not going to deal with Donut Guy. Donut Guy started the year by saying he didn't want to do anything. And it wasn't going to do anything. And guess what? Donut Guy started the year the same way he's ended the year, with not a single penny more. He started the year with $1,400. He's ending the year with $1,400. He didn't want to get any money from third stimulus. He didn't want to get any money from second stimulus. He just wanted to sit back and put his hand out and say, when's the land in my bank account? There's versions of Donut Guy. And the versions of Donut Guys are people who say, I called up one number at City Hall. They say they have no money. So I decided I don't qualify for anything. No, you haven't made the effort. Don't lie to yourself. Here's some tough love. You're lying to yourself. You know you're lying to yourself. You made one phone call when I'm making countless recordings every single day about 6 places you reach out to, the 3 musts, and you're doing exactly what I'm saying not to do. You know you're lying to yourself. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But here's the tough love moment. This channel took off because I was able to show people with specificity how to get their EIDLs approved. For some reason, when we go outside of EIDL into the subject matter, people think they can do a version of what I say in this recording and do their version and make one phone call to the city and say, is there any money? Oh, there's no money. Okay, I'm done. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. And for every time I said you can't do that, there's still someone that does it. And it's unfortunate. And I hope today is the awakening day. I hope today is the epiphany day. I really do. I bless every viewer that is in the live chat that turns to someone and says, when the person says there's no money in Arkansas, there is money in Arkansas. There's no money in Mississippi. There is money in Mississippi. I mean, I can't have these disagreements in live chats with viewers on this anymore, because there is money. You just want to believe there's no money, then fine. You'll end the year with not a penny more because you didn't want to make the effort. People that only turn to the city and never call the state. When I say call the state and the city, people only call the county and never call the city. People only call the county and the state and never call the county. You can only say so much. And as one viewer says, if they don't want to listen, they don't want to listen. All I can say is there's money available through there. And I want to congratulate all those incredible viewers who got this Christmas stimulus. Congratulations to all of you. And for those who got the Christmas stimulus, go get more money. For those who haven't gotten the Christmas stimulus, now you see you can get it. Yes, we have a full working week, 5 business days still coming up, so you can still get this money. So start making the phone calls. A lot of the utility companies are available, open on the weekend as well. And with that, I want you part of the incredible family. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of the incredible family. Like the video and consider becoming a member. Join me next on Evenings LALATE. Tonight is a brand new show. Then we're our incredible new programming block. It's Evenings LALATE at 5 o'clock. Then Evenings Countdown at 6 o'clock. Then the great new hit show, Holidays LALATE, in its evenings slot, which is called Holiday Stream Stimulus. And then at 8 o'clock is Sirloin, back with Julie Elena Blaine 66 in Calcino. And with that, join me tonight as the programming continues. Next up is Overnight's Crypto on this channel. Have a beautiful afternoon. And join me this evening for that 3-hour programming block before I go into our Overnight's programming shows. That is shows at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10, 11:30, 12:30, and continues in the new day. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day, and stay LA for more.